Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss on Vue Router integration in Vue 3 application. So let's jump into creating a small sample application. Vue 3 application I am going to create here. Command is like Vue create and your application name. Okay, this is my application name. Now it will start running the application. Okay, it is create. Wrong command I have given. Now CLI asking me to create whether Vue 2 or Vue 3 preview. If you select Vue 3 preview, also it is coming Vue 3 only, stable version. So I am selecting Vue 3. After a couple of minutes, CLI has been successfully created a sample application for me. Here it will showing commands like startup commands like to go to root folder, and another command is to run the sample application. So first let me go to my application root folder. And now let's open our Visual Studio Code. So here is my sample application, VueJS application, and go to package.json and see. Here we have VueJS 3 application. If you recall in CLA, it is showing preview like, but we selected preview, right? But after creating project, we can confirm that CLA is creating the stable version of the VueJS 3 version. So now we need to install another npm package is for routing like Vue Router, because Vue by default will not come with inbuilt library within the Vue.js. With this library, we won't get the routing features because it is comes as a separate module which was created by Vue only, but as a separate library. So we need to pull that library as well. Now to get the Vue router that supports Vue 3 application, such like Vue 3 router. Here you can check like this Vue router next. Next is for using Vue 3 application. This is officially released by Vue only. So click this link only. Open in next step. So this is the GitHub repository, and here is the command. If you want documentation, you can click the website here. The website path is like nextrouter.vuejs.org, and you can check all the introduction in this documentation. So now I need to install Vue Router version 4. So this version 4 is compatible with the Vue Router, VueJS 3.0. So let me install it. So I am pasting the Vue Router command. After a couple of minutes, I got Vue Router installed and its reference is available in the package.json. So this is the basic steps for integrating the Vue Router into our VueJS 3.0 application. So now we will begin with creating a two simple components like home and about, which will be rendered on the website based on the path we pass it to it. So let's create two components. We create first component like okay, okay. Here it will, let me write some dummy data. And let me create one more component is like about view. It is like about page. Okay. Now we have two components. These two components will be shown based on the route. So now we need to create the route configuration. For that, I'm going to create a separate file in the src folder, which is in level of app view. So let me add app router.js. Okay. And here I am going to create a constant variable routes, like a array. In this array, it will have an object like path, name of the path, nothing but route, and the component to load for that path. Okay. So I have components, right? I am creating two paths, two routes. And now we need to import the components into our approute.js. And also import about as well. Now define the path. Home path is simple only slash, and here about path will be like about, and we need to define the component names. Here I am defining home, and here I am defining about. Okay. Now we need these routes to be configured in the our Vue Router library. Vue Router library uses a method like create routes, where it will take the our routes as input parameter. So let's create that function. Const export, sorry, export constant. I want to expose this constant to into our app.vue, sorry, into main.js. So I am exporting it. Route config create router. See, it is create router method is loading from the Vue Router, our Vue Router library. Create router library takes options like JavaScript object literal. Here, like first is like history. History property nothing but how browser need to store the navigation history into of our application. For that we have default method like web history, create web history, and it also provide one more method like create web hash. See, if your application having hash based URLs, then use this create web hash history method as a value to the history property. If you are using without hash values, then you can good to use it create web history. Here I am using only web history. And another property is to configure routes. So here we will pass our routes constant. Okay, that's it. The initial configuration about the our routes using our create router method that is imported from the Vue Router. So now let's configure this Vue Router into our Vue application instance pipeline. For that, go to main.js, and here let me divide this code. And here I'm going to use app.use. It is like a pipeline. Here we can pass our route configuration so that it will be injected into our Vue instance. So here we will use route config. Okay. This is the main configuration property, right? Where we are exposing in app router.js. So we are configuring route instance into our Vue instance using this use middleware. So that's all about the initial configuration regarding this Vue application. Now we need to we have now we can able to access our pages using our routes. For that, let's test by running the application npm run. So this is the command. If you want, you can check this command in package.json also. Okay. This servo command need to be prefixed with npm run. So let it be run. It is successfully run to the host 8080. So let me open that host. Now if you observe, we didn't get any of what we have did in route configuration. We configured home path to load uh, home component and about path to load about component. But here home path is showing some another data which is not expected by us. Let's try about. This is also doing nothing, just showing the same content only. That is because we haven't specified the area to be rendered the routed data. That means we need to use router view. Router view is a pre-built view component where in which all our routed components will be rendered. So let's go to app view. Here it is loading predefined component. So let's get rid of this. Also these styles. Let's remove also this and this reference also. And let's initialize our router view. See, router view. This is a predefined view component. If you hover it, you can see functional component that renders the matched component for the given path. So it is clearly explained that this component renders the components that matches the URL path user trying to access in the browser. So let me save it and it's compiled. Let's test now. Test our endpoints. Here we're getting home page about something went wrong. About page empty. Let's try again. So what went wrong? See, I did a mistake here. It's not caps. I think this will fix. Let's say And see, now I'm getting home route, home page, and let's try to access about page. So we are able to navigate between the pages, right? So to next, in real time, we will use menus, right, for clicking the URLs. For that clicking URLs, we need to use the router link component. So for that sample, we will just add some dummy menu. Let's go to Bootstrap menu, and copy this one menu HTML. Go to app view page. On top here, just paste it. Just get rid of, I want only two menu links, so I'm getting rid of all the unwanted code for me. This, remove this. Just duplicate this li two times, and here we should not use anchor link directly. We use component like router link. So this is the default router link provided by the Vue.js. So if you see the description, link to navigate the users. Target location is specified with the to prop. So to specify the URL, we need to use the property like to path. Since it is a home page, I just leave like this. I name it as home, and let's add class for styling. This class, and get rid of this. Now let's add link for menu. About us menu link, and in the to property we need to assign our about link. Just save it, and also get rid of this. Okay. And we need to import the CS file. So copy the link in the get started documentation and go to our index.html. Index.html will be in public folder. Go here below the title tag, copy paste it and save it. Okay. Since our application is running, we can go to our website. See, now I got view. I didn't name about us. Let me name it as about. Okay. Copy paste these styles for better styling. Okay, now we have two menu links. So let's click it. It is already about us. Please let's click home page. See home. If you observe here page is not reloading. Here it is. We are getting single page application experience, right? So that is the way to configure the menu links using the router link component. Okay. Now we have did it through HTML, right? If you want, we can do it through the code also. For that, let's go to home component. Here, let me create a button. On click, I'm going to invoke a method called go. In the methods property, I will declare that method. So in main.js, we have configured out our route config, right? So to access the routing instance throughout the application in any component, we can use with this scope, this dot dollar router. It will give the instance of the router. Okay. Now it will provide a method like push, where we can provide our path. Here in the home page, I have created button click right. Once button is clicked, we are navigating through the about page using the code. Let me name this as go to about page. So let's reload the page. See, here the button is there. Let me click it. See, I went to home page, right? We can observe here. Going to home page. That's all about the basic intro on this Vue Router Vue library using in VueJS 3.0. I hope this video has delivered some useful information. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. I will see you soon guys with a new video. Signing off.